My name is Duvedev from Infected Mushroom and speaking from quarantine in LA at the moment.
So Infected Mushroom is your band. Um,
Correct.
and when did you start making music?
Well, I started making music when I was like 15. I was a keyboard player, pianist since the age of 5. But when I was 15, I kind of started my first band experience. And I had a band called Einzam back in the day in Israel. And, I used to play punk and heavy metal and rock, Israeli rock. And that kind of all fell together when I went to the Israeli army, the IDF, like everybody else. And after that, when I was 21, I went to Goa, India. And when I returned, I met Ares and kind of formed Infected Mushroom.
Nice, that's awesome. So you said you started
Yeah.
playing music in Israel. Where in Israel did you grow up?
I grew up in the north of Israel, which is the Krayot, which is basically the downside of Haifa, which is a big city.
Mhm.
So I grew up over there, and later on I moved to Tel Aviv. But my childhood and my music experience was all in the north of Israel.
Okay, for sure. And how would you say that you found your style as Duvdev and then later as Infected Mushroom?
Well, I started raving back in 89, 90, pretty early when I was a kid. I was like 15, 16, started raving. And as a keyboard player, I always wanted to do this kind of music, but I didn't know how to approach it. So it took me a few years, then coming back from Goa, being a DJ, being a raver, just to kind of take this to the next level. I met Ares, which was already in a band called Shidapu and was making trance music. And we started doing music together as Duvedev and Shidapu without a name and and actually without names of the track. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, blah, blah, blah. And
Right.
then after 10 tracks, we decided, listen, we need a band name. And then Infected Mushroom came, and the name came, and then we started basically producing our first album, which was The Gathering.
Nice. Um, so how was it growing up in Israel in the 80s and the 90s? Like what
Well,
about
I think if you ask me, I definitely will tell you it was better times than now. But that's being me nostalgic. Israel was a cool place to grow up in. Israel is a pretty hardcore country to live in. But still, as a kid, you're born into it. You don't feel it. It's like a normal place to grow up in. And now living in America for so many years and having kids over here, it's a different way to grow up than here. This I
Mm,
can tell you for sure. And I found it very free, very fun. I used to be basically most of the time on the streets because that's what it was. And, fun times, amazing music scene back in the day from rock, from heavy metal, and from trance music back uh, late 80s and beginning of 90s. And I grew up on this music. I used to listen to new wave, punk, rock, and all that stuff. So, for me, it was what I was growing up upon. And I got to say, I had a good time growing up there.
that's awesome. Um, so when did you move to the United States? You mentioned that.
So when it was 2004, I came here, starting looking for a house in LA because
Mhm.
I was already a very big band in Israel and in Europe and also here, but Israel became a small country at that time for me, and I wanted to produce heavy metal artists, and for me, LA was always a place to go. So I came here in 2004. Rented a huge house with a studio, and me and Erez, his wife and my wife, moved together with a studio and basically started living here and producing our album Vicious Delicious, which was the biggest album just we've done. So
Yeah, I enjoy listening to Vicious Delicious and like
yeah, so that was the time, 2004, 2005. Then started playing all the American markets, starting with all the EDCs back in the day. Did the festival touring, started touring massively in the United States, and basically formed the band as it is. Because before it was only me and Ares, but when we came here, we added the guitarist Tommy and then Rogerio, a drummer. So all this thing came about in 2005. and then basically started the new era of Infected Mushroom as a band, because before it was only me and Eris.
Uh-huh. And when did you guys work on Artillery in that album?
So yeah, Vicious Delicious, you know, okay, Vicious Delicious, me and Aries were trying to kind of sound what we were listening at that time. So we were listening to a lot of Linkin Park. I was producing Korn at the time, and you know, we were trying to take our trance elements and bring it to different places. So then came Heavyweight on that album. Artillery came with Swollen Members as a hip hop kind of thing that, of course, is huge in America. Becoming Insane came with a very big Mexican band called Kinky. So that album was pretty much experimental for Infected Mushroom, because it was moving from psytrance to a lot of new genres. But then it opened us so many other fans here in America, and took Infected Mushroom to a different level with that particular album.
So that's incredible and awesome.
Yep.
So I think what a lot of people kind of want to know about, you know, you and you know, moving to America, like how is the Jewish community different, like say in LA versus like how it was back at home?
Oh, listen, I always tell that to every American Jew that I meet. American Jew has nothing to do with an Israeli. You know,
Right.
it's two different entities, and some of the American Jews, they go to Israel and they realize that from themselves, because we grow up in a different scenario. What I like about American Jews that are very supportive of Israel and they want to go to Israel, and they always see that as you know, the motherland and stuff like that. For us Israelis, we, you know, when I came here to America, I found that people here are way more religious than us. You know, it's like, wow, they keep all the chagim and all the shit. I was blown away, and then I heard about Jewish schools. I didn't get what that means. You know, so it took me a while to kind of go into that system and figure this out. But again, there's a lot of programs today connecting American Jews to Israel, like Taglit and all that stuff, and I'm super supportive on that. And I think a lot of people should go to Israel and just check it out. It's a different whole ballgame.
Yeah. So yeah, seeing as that a lot of us now are in lockdown and we're all just doing stuff from our homes, what has been your like go-to lockdown song, you know, when you're getting work done?
Oh, you know, it depends on what. When I do exercise, I listen to our last album that just came out 2 weeks ago. More of just the same. It's very aggressive album, good for exercising. And because I'm on lockdown, I'm actually making new music already.
Right.
After the album came, and I'm already making a new track with Vini Vici at the moment. They're in lockdown in Brazil. I'm making a new track with Bliss, my homie from Israel. I'm making a new song here with Tikva Shesh from Israel. So I'm actually super busy, because usually to produce an album takes us so much time because we're touring all the time. But now that we're in lockdown, I'm finding myself spending so much hours in the studio. And I got to say, that's the only positive thing about this whole outbreak, because the outbreak is devastating, of course, and dangerous. And I hope everybody's actually being at home. My dogs, as you can hear it in the background, going crazy all day. But luckily enough for me, I have a big house in LA. I have a backyard. I can stay at home. I don't need to go out. I don't go to the main studio anymore, which is in Air's house. But we do music via online, so that's easy. You know, I don't have to be there.
Right.
We just talk to each other, stay on the same Cubase that we used to work in, and actually getting a lot of music done. So I think hopefully when this quarantine is over, I'm going to have a new album ready. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what's been your favorite quarantine meal so far?
Well, me, I like schnitzels. I'm Israeli. I like schnitzels. I do schnitzels every week. Uh, of course, I cannot go to my spots to eat, which I love to. But, you know, my wife, she cooks everything. We do schnitzels. We do the whole Israeli shebang. And it's it, food-wise, I'm not worried. Probably we're going to get overweight after this quarantine. But besides that, we're a very sports family. All my kids, they play basketball and stuff. So we try to keep it as much as we can.
Well, yeah, that's awesome. Um, So in your experience touring, where are some of the craziest places that touring has taken you?
Well, I've been all around the world and back. So many places that I played, besides some Arabic countries, which I was invited to play, but I cannot go as
Mm.
being Israeli. I've been all around the world, and I've been to all of America, South America, Japan, South Africa, Australia, India, Thailand, the Far East, of course, Europe, which I do every year. And I'm 25 years a touring musician, and now I'm home for the first time forever. And I really don't know what to do with myself. So I'm taking the best out of it, doing a lot of music, staying in shape, uh, staying sane, and having a good time with my fam, which I don't get to see so much.
Right. So I saw that you were playing in London, right? In the beginning of 2020.
Yeah.
How was that? Did you guys have an inkling of an idea of what was going to happen soon?
Not really. There was a little bit of a talk about it then, and I now before London, I was in Australia, and there was a itty bitty talk about it over there. But in that time, everybody was talking about China. Nobody,
Mhm.
nobody was talking about outside of China. So we didn't go to Chinese restaurants. That was the code, But nobody knew the gravity and how bad it is. My wife was already paranoid at that time, so I had already masks then on the plane, and I'm germophobic to begin with, so I cleaned the plane anyways, and so yeah, nobody knew that this is going to be how it is now.
Yeah, I mean it's just crazy.
It is.
Um, so do you guys Infected Mushroom? Do you guys tour by yourselves, or do you have all your friends that come with? I mean, who
Well,
usually
it's
tours
not
with
it's,
you
it's
guys?
not friends. It's a big operation. If it's the live band, it's 10 people touring around. You have the band, you have the crew, you have the merch guys, you have the lighting guys, the laser guys, the whole operation. If it's me and Aris DJing, so we travel with another person that takes care of all that other stuff. So usually three. So we're kind of a family on the road, but everybody's quarantined now. So we're talking about when we're going to go back. I'm talking to promoters around the world and everything, and nobody has an answer. I think this year is done because even if you can go out, you cannot gather with a lot of people, and that's what we do. So I don't see us coming back until next year. It's a devastating year for everybody, but we try to maintain it. We try to go through it, and yeah, hopefully next year everybody is gonna come back to the regular self and get more of just the same.
Yeah, I mean, so in lieu of everyone being at home, a lot of artists have gone to live streaming. Have you and Erz thought of live
We
streaming?
already did the live stream, which was huge on Twitch. It had 20,000 views straight up on the main page of Twitch. We're doing another live band when the quarantine will let us do it. We will do a full live band in the studio, but this will take a little bit of time. So yeah, of course, streaming once in a while. We go do a DJ set, to give some music to the crowd, just keep them happy. But at the moment, LA is in a complete lockdown, which I gotta respect. And so we'll see. We'll see in a month. Hopefully, we can come do more of the stuff that we're used to be doing.
So yeah, what's your Twitch tag so everyone can check out
Oh,
your
infected mushroom.
Infected Mushroom on
Yeah,
Twitch?
yeah, yeah, super. Somebody, it was Infected Studio, but the owner of Twitch gave us the Infected Mushroom name, so it's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's really cool. Yeah, yeah.
um, so yeah, let's see. Um, I mean, yeah, what have some of your like day-to-day things that have not been like just being in the studio?
Oh, dude, I wake up in the morning, help my wife here in the house. Then we walk the dog in the neighborhood. The kids go on virtual schools. Me, I go to my small studio in the house. Then I practice my piano. Then I do another walk with the dog. Then we do dinner. It's basically lockdown mode. So uh, when I was a when I was a younger dude, I used to be in army prison when I was in the army. So it's kind of like that. You cannot go out. You just have your routine. But you know, I again, we try to make it as fun as possible in this situation. It's hard, but LA, I'm with my family. I have a lot of friends here. We talk Zoom wise, and yeah, we keep it together.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Um, have you been watching any Netflix shows?
Oh, Netflix is a lifesaver. At the moment, we're watching the new Ozark,
Mhm.
which the new season. I've been watching Picard and CBS. There's this new Tiger thing that I didn't watch yet, but me and my wife is going to start it today. Yeah, and binging our television is what we do, and like everybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keeping up with his dawot.
Yeah, yes, Dawot all the time, and of course we have all our Israelis Dawot as well, which we have the Israeli channel. We follow that as well, and yeah, we try to. But you know what? I do it only at nights because I rather be. I have my small studio here, so I'm most of the time cooped up there, so not too much.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So what I mean, what would you say to like teens or kids who want to start getting into music, at least now in the lockdown, like artists at home? What
Well,
tips?
again, today, what's lucky about today, you can do really good music with a computer and a decent pair of speakers, So, and you have all the sounds in the world online, you have everything. So, this is a perfect time to just sit and do music. And now I always tell young producers in the beginning, your music will be shit. You cannot be great when you start. This is a learning process. Even though you think you're great, then you yourself in 1 year will say, what was that?
Right.
So it's just making a lot of music, trying to sound like producers you like, and until you get your own unique sound. And when that happens, and put that music out there, which is also easy today because most of the big labels are already virtual today. They don't go and make CDs and record deals like it used to be. So just putting the music out there, let all your friends push your music because that's what they're for. And, eventually somebody will notice. And now it's a good time to produce a lot of music, because everybody's at home. And you're not missing anything outside, by the way.
Right.
So, yeah. And just this is what and you can sound really good. I really mean it. There's tutorials all over the net from your favorite producers. Let's say you like dubstep, you have Kill the Noise, AU5, all of these guys giving tutorials. Of course, in trance, we're giving tutorials. There's others. You can actually stay at home and learn and do music.
Is there anything else that you want to tell viewers at home, the teens?
Well, when you're home, listen to the new Infected Mushroom album, of course. More than just the name, it just came out. Pretty good.
Mhm.
And for all the Jewish and Americans out there, just stay safe at the moment until this craziness will pass. I think it will. Are you in San Francisco?
I'm in San Jose.
Yeah. Anyway, so you're showing promising stats at the moment because you were on lockdown before everybody else in California. So I'm
Yeah.
just saying to all the teens, just stay at home, don't go out, until this madness will pass, and just be safe. And when it's time, we party in Israel like back in the day.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Well, a pleasure. Thank you so much, and stay safe over there.